Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast, where we discuss and analyze your favorite marble sports. From JMR Marble League to I'll Go Do tournaments, we'll make sure you never miss the action. All marble sports, all the time, right here on the MSW Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast. My name is Brendan.
And I'm Commander Wolf.
I'm adjusting my mic during the show. Oh, look at that. So professional. Anyway, did you notice for the intro, instead of last time where I just said blah, 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 podcast, I said it very broken up and specific, like marble, sports,
Yes,
worldwide. So, you know, just trying to keep it interesting here in the intro.
Yeah.
I got to keep it interesting.
Congratulations, you now remembered how to speak.
Yeah, I did remember how to speak there. And yeah, it's good to be back. We're gonna have a guest on today, so things are getting back to normal. We're gonna be talking some JMR Marble League, the best possible thing you could talk in Marble Sports Podcast situation here.
Yes.
And I don't really have any interesting story for the intro, so what I'll do is I'll just mention about 20 episodes ago, we actually considered changing the name of the podcast to the Marble Talk Podcast. I considered it, and Walt said, absolutely not. You're stupid. Die. He didn't say die.
I didn't.
He said, stop being a Limers fan, and I was like, no. But I did consider that. I was like, maybe Marble Talk would be good. But Walt was like, no, we got to stick MSW. You can't make these changes already like that. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? MSW, Marble Talk, what do you want?
I think MSW. I think it's our brand name at this point.
Yum yum. Yes.
We've been doing this for a year now. It'd be kind of weird to change everything at this point.
No, yeah, that would be odd. That would be odd. That would be if JMR became just Marble Run's channel or something. Just change their name. People are like, what? That's not JMR. That's not the JMR. Remember?
Nope.
Instead of Gel's Marble Runs, Dion's Marble Runs. That'd be odd. What? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, anything interesting from you?
I certainly do. So, 1 year ago, I became the half host for this podcast. This is my 1 year anniversary as
co-host.
As a co-host, and I've already posted a big message in the Discord. So I don't want to go on too long as and restate everything I said. But
feels, man.
Mm-hmm. But I just want to say, it's been a really wild ride. I certainly didn't know what I was getting into when I first got onto it, but it has been some of the best times in my life, and I've met so many incredible people. And
I just want to thank people. Am
Yes.
I making this about myself too? Sorry.
Yeah, you're kind of yes. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just messing.
And I just want to thank each and every one of you who listens to us on every platform that you listen to it on, whether it be iHeart, SoundCloud, Spotify.
Yeah, even the people who listen on Anchor.
Or on Anchor.
There's so many platforms out there. I'm doing the talk away from the mic thing because this is a WAP spotlight thing. But yeah, if you listen on Anchor, the guys, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Podbean. I don't even know what we post to. Just listen to those instead. Anchor's just what's Anchor? Anyway, plow ahead.
I just want to say thank you so much for supporting me on this journey and supporting the whole podcast. And I look forward to being here for yet another year into the future. And who knows how long this will go for. But I'm here. I think till the very end. I think that's my goal. I want to be here for it all.
He's here until he doesn't take another breath. Man, honestly though. Yeah, we have, this would not have gone this far. This would not have moved this far if it weren't for Waf's presence, because his balancing out on the show, his ability to, because let me just put it, off the show, there's been a lot of difficulties through my time in Marble Sports community. There's been a lot of difficulties that I've struggled through. Believe it or not, it's just Marble Sports, but there actually were difficulties. This Fubica situation being one of them, and there was stuff in the past as well. And Waff has been off the podcast a great help and words of wisdom and just someone to talk to during that. And he's helped me through that. So to be honest, if it wasn't for Waff, both on the podcast and off the podcast, I do not even know. All right, if this would still be going on. I mean, I have to be honest. He's been an absolute huge help. I will take this time to also shout out our half host and backup half host. They have been doing a great job when they come on. Our backup half host is just amazing at bringing up nice controversial subjects to get me rolling. Rolling, see what I did there? Ricochet. And our half host is just always funny to listen to. He good banter with him as well. And then our editor, JM, bang up job as well. When he's not disappears for like 3 weeks, and we don't know where he is, that we have to edit. But most of the time he's doing good, and Johnny Marble doing good as well. But definitely celebrating this 1-year anniversary with WAF. This is, I got to speak from the outside perspective, WAF has been integral. Integral. Not integral in calculus. Integral meaning just super important to the production and the continuation of this podcast as we head toward episode 100. So from me, WAF, to you right here on the show, making this intro extra long, big, super awesome Marbula thank you. All right? From me to you.
A Marbula thank you.
A marble full thank you. I don't know how to word it. So,
well, thank you, Brendan. I appreciate it. I'm glad that I came on this journey.
Doesn't know what to say, man.
I said so much in that post already. I kind of ran out of things to say.
No, yeah. You certainly put it all out there in the post, so it was a very, very touching moment. And it's good that you remembered the year anniversary. I forgot when the exact day was. I didn't forget you. I forgot the exact day. When it was when you came on. Yeah. I love you say, yeah, I know. I knew you forget.
That's what I made sure to put it in our special notes section, all of our anniversaries. That way we don't forget. Although yeah. I still forgot. I was still a day late for the podcast anniversary, but whatever.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I remember that too. I still don't remember the date for that.
March 20th, baby.
March 20th. There you go, guys. March 20th, last year, 2019, when the Green Ducks were pulling amazing victories here in the qualifiers.
Dang, March.
I sat down and I started talking y'all about what I thought about the Green Ducks, and for some reason, you guys cared. All right, that's enough for the intro. Let's get right to Johnny Marble, because he got some news for us that we all need to hear.
Hello, Marble Sports fans! I am Johnny Marble, and as always, I am coming to you for MSW. So let's get right into it. First up is Event 4 of Marble League 2020, Newton's Cradle. This new event was very exciting to watch as the teams had to both test their skill and their precision, along with strength. It was a close competition, but in the end, the O-Rangers came in first, followed by Team Galactic in second, with only a 1 centimeter difference between the Raspberry Racers, who took third. Unfortunately, Mellow Yellow once again placed last, further cementing their last place position. Fortunately though, things were about to turn around in the next event. Event 5 was the long jump, and though it may have been set up a little different from previous years, most of the veteran teams were able to use their prior experience with the event to their advantage. It was really close, but in the end, the Crazy Cat's Eyes took the gold, followed by Balls of Chaos, who took silver, and in an incredible turn of events, Mellow Yellow took the bronze home. It seems that Mellow Yellow has finally started to get back out of their funk for the past events. But we'll have to wait and see if they can keep it up for the events to come in the future. But hey, I've been Johnny Marble, you have been the best fans in the world. Let's kick it back and continue on with the podcast.
All right, everybody, welcome back from the news. Thank you, Johnny Marble, for another exciting news segment. I don't know how many times I've said thank you, Johnny Marble, for another exciting news segment, but it feels like the phrase that I go with every episode. So we're going to go with it once more. Thank you, Johnny
Well, you
Marble.
can never thank him enough because his work is amazing.
You can't thank Johnny Marble enough. He's bringing you news all the way from Texas about marble sports.
I thought he was in Oklahoma.
That's technicalities. Oklahoma doesn't even So that's not true, by the way. Oklahoma people, if you listen to the show,
Oklahoma is just Texas's hat.
that's funny. It kind of is, though, if you look at the map. But yeah, anyway, wherever he's from, he's bringing us great news. I always thought he's from Texas, though, so I've been getting this wrong since episode 20.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he told us in the episode he guessed it on that he was not from Texas.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah. Well, that's just my bad then. I just kind of roll with what I remember, the version of life I make up in my head. So anyway, enough of that, guys. Let's welcome our guest for today. Welcome Craig from the Play the Field podcast. Say hello, Craig.
Hey, pleasure to meet everybody.
It's great to have you on the show.
It is a pleasure to have you on the show as well. Before we ask Craig a bunch of marble sports related questions, I just want to say, shout out his podcast, Play the Field podcast. He did an episode on marble sports. That's how we got connected, and I guested on that show. It was really exciting. And also he does multiple episodes, like once a month, where he talks about a different sport that you may not have heard about. So all these weird type of sports, from marble sports all the way to other weird sports that you don't see on TV every day, they cover those. So be sure to check them out. Play the Field podcast. Your Twitter is at PTFPod, right?
Nope, that's correct.
All right, nice.
You can also find the podcast at playthefield.podbean.com. And we're still working on figuring out how to get connected with some of the other platforms that we can share on, but we are on Google Play as well, so search Play the Field.
Yeah, absolutely. Search that. Tip for people like Craig and everybody else who does podcasts, if you post to Anchor, they'll actually post to like 8 different places for you. So to spread it around a lot. Also, SoundCloud, in my opinion, and YouTube are great for podcast posting as well. Anyways, guys, let's dive right in. Play the Field podcast. Craig, we're gonna ask you a question here. We ask this to every first-time guest on the show. You guys know the question by now. I know the question by now, even though I usually forget things. Waff knows the question by now. You're about to know the question, Craig. The question we have for you is, everybody say it together. Waff, how did you get into marble sports? That was terrible, Waff. We got to work on that.
So I had never heard of marble sports, and I was hanging out in a different Discord server that is about minor league hockey.
Nice.
And the day came in that one moment of the pandemic. I'll always remember the date. It was March 12th, and all of professional sports in the U.S. shut down.
A sad time, yeah.
And we were all talking about that, and somebody said, well, at least we'll still have marble runs. And I said, what? And so somebody was like, oh yeah, there's like people race marbles on YouTube. And I was like, well, that sounds really boring. And somebody said, no, it's really great because there's like commentary and storylines and everything that makes it feel like everything you want out of sports. And I go, oh, I'm gonna have to watch like one video of that just to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I found 2019 Marble League, and I was pretty much hooked right away. It's everything I didn't know it was going to be.
Absolutely, that is the stories of many. Just, you kind of are skeptical at first. You see it. You hear Greg Woods' charismatic voice. You see the O'Rangers, and you're just like, this is the new best thing.
Exactly.
What was one of the first
there's
videos?
a huge number of people showing up to Marble Sports fandom right now because of COVID, and I am very definitely one of them.
Yeah. They doubled, even more than doubled in follower base because of this pandemic. So, I mean, while the pandemic is a negative thing, of course, We too like to look at the positives come from it, and certainly Marble Sports increase in popularity is one. I do want to ask, what was the video you saw? What was your first video that you saw? Do you remember what event it was, or?
I think it was Funnels. I'm not sure if that one was first, but it was one of my early ones. Funnels for 2019.
No, yeah, that's Funnels is a good one. Funnels is actually one of the ones I would normally show like to people when they're like, "Oh, well, what is Marble Sports?" I would actually normally fall back to Funnels because I feel like Funnels is a good middle of the road event. It's not like as generic as 5-meter sprint, but it's not as weird and complex like showing them rafting.
And I'm not a racing fan, so the like Marble One videos where there's the lots of laps around the track, those don't grab me quite as much. But the creative things that show up in Marble League totally do. I feel like the variety is part of what makes it for me.
Yeah, and I'm sure Newton's Cradle, I don't know if you saw the recent event, Newton's Cradle certainly was a new event, actually, never seen before.
Yeah.
Very creative. I really enjoyed Newton's Cradle this year.
Yeah, when they were teasing that online about Newton's Cradle is coming up, I was like, how are you going to make an event out of Newton's Cradle? I can't see it, and whatever it is, it's going to be good. And it was. I really liked that.
Yeah, and we will actually get into Newton's Cradle on its details in a moment, but another thing we do want to ask, we usually try to get a feel for our guests' proclivities. So what are your favorite teams here going in the Marble League? As you see Marble League, as you've seen all the teams play, what are the teams you really want to go for over this course of this season?
So my team is Team Galactic, and the reason for that is my first job. What do you really count as a job? You count the times you babysat random neighbors. No, not really. You count being an unpaid high school intern doing stuff with NASA. Oh, I didn't get a paycheck from that, but it was a formative part of my life. That's my first job.
Nice. Wow, at NASA. That's
very cool. Very cool.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, NASA runs, or at least they used to, I think it's still going on, this super cool program for high school students called the Athena Student Interns Program, where a team of 2 students plus 1 teacher from their school, so the teacher is sort of your advisor in the whole thing, an internship tied with Mars exploration. And it includes, you get a couple all expenses paid visits to the Jet Propulsion Laboratories out in Pasadena.
Oh, that's great.
To work with your designated member of the science team on the mission who's a mentor for you. But mostly what it is you go out into your local community and to spread the word about how awesome space exploration is, which it totally is.
Oh,
and I loved it. And so, being a space nerd from way back, I just have to go with Team Galactic.
Yeah, so it must have been extra, as a space lover and a science lover, I'm going to assume, it must have been extra exciting to see an event based around Newton's Cradle, which is I guess a physics toy, you could say.
Yeah,
that's probably the more accurate description.
I heard them say there's going to be a Newton's Cradle thing, and I'm like, and that has swinging round balls that's going to tie into the marbles really directly.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do it, but I know it's going to be awesome, and it was.
Yeah,
it was a really cool event, and I look forward to it being a staple in the future.
No, absolutely. I definitely want to see that come back. I really enjoyed how it did focus a lot on the marbles' ability to work together. That point marble, you could say, that first marble coming in with a lot of speed and also a lot of strength, hitting that Newton's Cradle, and then, transferring, as physics would talk about with Newton's crater, transferring the
Newton's
energy,
crater.
You know what I'm saying. And transferring the energy from the one ball through this line of balls to the other. a good example of physics, science, and marble expertise out there on the field, kind of bringing it all together into a perfect event.
And of course, we've got the nerdy physics event, and I'm a Team Galactic fan, and host Curse. Galactic's been doing really badly in the first couple of events, and we get into Newton's Cradle, and I'm like, okay, this is our chance. And, well, look what happened. Silver medal there.
No, yeah, I am very. I'm happy to see, first of all, that maybe there's a chance this host curse is not going to take hold this year. Like I said, we were only 3 events in, now only like 5, so there's still a lot of room for marbles and teams to decide where they want to be, where they will be. But yeah, see, getting that medal up there on the board early with Team Galactic is really showing that they do have the potential to it. I don't really know if they're going to get top 3, but they do have the potential to put themselves in a position where they're not going to fall into a host curse situation. We don't want an Oceanics. We don't want a no Galactics. A Galactint. I don't know. You come up with a cool nickname for that. But yeah, they put themselves in a position, and especially on a new event and a very an event that kind of goes along with science. It's good to see that them come back like that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, some of our audiences point out how like that Galactic is doing better than their average. So I don't, and like I mean, for Oceanics, like they're not really that great of a team to begin with. So people will still argue about whether or not the host curse even exists in the first place. But we've talked to death about that before. So I think let's move on to Newton's Cradle that we've been talking about for quite a while now.
Perfect. Let's move on to what we've already been talking about. Waf, you have
a
way with
brilliant event, and wow, that was tense watching it.
It was very cool. I didn't. And it's something that it's been a while since we've seen a brand new event. Since 2019. Like it's been a long time.
Last year, and they actually brought that surfing into the mix. And honestly, surfing was it was badly executed, clunky, and not just an overall kind of annoying to watch. But it was actually a really creative event, and rafting also killed last year as well. It was great. So I just like how every year JMR is continuing to work very hard, and we may even see a new event. And again, by the end of this 16 events, they're working very hard to inject that creativity into the Marble League, and they're doing it again. I do want to address some of the performances of the teams. I'll react first here. I think it was very disappointing to me that Mellow Yellow, who got out first, actually had one of the worst performances again in Newton's Cradle. I understand it was a new event, but man, I mean, you didn't really know what the best was going to be in that event. But when I saw them, they went out there, they had a decent run. I thought actually that it was going to be a good run, but I mean, they only got up to about 80 something, and then you have Marbles getting all the way to 110. Man, that was a tough event for
so in those first couple of teams that you see doing it, like you see the first 2 go and you don't know what's a good number because you're just not used to the event yet.
Yeah, and it makes it hard to really gauge if it kind of brings the suspense, because you're like, well, is this team going to really do well? Is this a good run? But you kind of see. I also noticed that in general, usually the first teams to go overall kind of tend to do worse than the last teams, which kind of might project some kind of, I mean, I don't know why that is, but it's kind of pretty consistent. I always feel the first one to go always tends to have a lackluster performance, no matter which team it is, by the way, than like the last 5 or the middle 10, you know? So I don't know if
right, because they have no one to compare to yet. So you know, like it's like they only have to compare themselves to sorry, I forgot his name for a bit there. It was it King Pulsar?
Yeah,
Or no, so it's
King Stardust.
King
Cosmo.
King Cosmo.
King. Cosmo wasn't in this event, but Cosmo is the one who's the king.
Is he? Oh, maybe so. You got me.
King Stardust.
Name,
King Stardust.
So, I have no idea.
Yeah, but this like King Stardust sets the record, basically, and then like that,
right,
for our teams to beat. But like, it's not really, like it's not really like he's not really an athlete, and like his scores definitely show that. So like it's
Oh, yeah,
like there's
he did
not really much.
quite a bit. We got like
first-
64, I think, 60 something like that.
something like that.
So it was very lackluster, but it's more of like an example to show how the event works. Actually, it's a very nice touch. I will actually pull out there to touch on that. There's a couple interesting attention to details in this new series. 3 things I want to bring up. I don't know if you guys noticed this. Number 1, they example the event before you do it each time, as we just mentioned. Number 2, they have a little icon that now represents the event. They have the name of the event, and then below they have a little just simple kind of icon. If you notice, do you notice what I'm talking about? Like with the event, they just have like a logo that represents what the event is. So I think for Newton's Cradle, they had like 4 balls kind of in a line, and one of them like going up at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Where's this logo at?
Notice that.
Right, if you go to the video,
That's a cool bit of presentation.
If you go to a video, I'll actually pull one up right here on the podcast because I'm so prepared. I'm just bringing the preparedness right now. Going to Newton's Cradle. So maybe I'm not explaining myself the best. We have an advertisement that has to run through. Okay, it's done. All right, so another one. By the way, did anyone notice that? By the way, like the ads and the ability to skip them has decreased in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it. It's underneath the logo.
Yeah,
cool.
right there. If you go, right at the beginning of the video.
I don't think that's specific to JMR.
Oh, what do you mean?
I think YouTube in general has been giving me more ads lately than they used to.
Oh yeah, no, we weren't saying that was JMR. We were saying YouTube in general.
It was in general. Yeah, I sometimes just tangent without warning. But yeah, if you go to right at the beginning, like 8 seconds into the Newton's Cradle video, if you see where it says Event 4 Newton's Cradle, right above it, there's an icon that shows what the event is. I mean, it obviously doesn't explain the whole event, but it kind of is just a logo to go along with the event. And that is a nice touch. The third touch I want to mention is that if you go to when the marbles, it's about to be a marble's turn, and their name like pops up on the screen. And let me find that. So if you go here, you like Oceanics, the marbles now like fade in and slide. Little marble icon for each marble fades in and slides to the end of the thing. I thought that was really cool too. I know it's a little thing, but those little things are noticed. And I don't know. I just wanted to take a moment to mention that, if that makes anybody happy.
Yeah, that I didn't. I hadn't really. I think I noticed that detail, but I completely forgotten. Like it's nice. This little touches they do, man. Like they add such nice little style and to their stuff. It's very, little things.
Yeah, I really love the production values. That's kind of what makes this all work for me. Like I said, when I first heard about this, I thought it was going to be boring, and it's not because it's so well presented.
No, yeah, that's we have mentioned this before, kind of the difference between homemade marble sports that you look at and you're like, oh my god, this is boring, and this kind of level of marble sports where you're like, wow, this I can literally sit here and accept this as a real sport. And we've talked about this at length, going through how important team naming is, logos, things like that, event style, presentation, the ability, making sure you're in a professional setting, but certainly the editing aspect to it. Graphics that are nice and smooth and clean and that work all together, especially with the commentary. That really is a turning point for people. Usually they see it and like, this looks like it could be on ESPN. This is production value that I could see on ESPN or whatever sports channels happen all over.
It really is. And we talked about the Last Week Tonight bump because they talked it up. I don't think Last Week Tonight would have considered sponsoring this if it didn't look so good.
No, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, definitely not. Like, yeah, it definitely mattered, like, the quality of it. Like, a Tim sure, there's no way he would have sponsored, like, little Jimmy with his camcorder quality video filming him.
Yeah, no, not in a million years.
Exactly, yeah, because these big sponsors looking for things that are really good quality, and especially something like marble sports, where it's hard to make somebody accept marble sports. I have showed people marble sports where all the incredible production value of JMR is right in front of them, and they just reject it. They're like, no, stop. I can't look at it. I just can't accept that this is a real sport. I cannot put this right next to baseball and football and be like, this is equal. And I understand that. I mean, some people, it's not everybody's thing, but yeah, like that production value really, it turns it from YouTube channel to actual sport. You can actually make that jump, and I'm really happy about that.
I mean, you want to hear the ridiculous hot take on that from me?
Go ahead.
So I grew up in Durham, North Carolina, which is home to the most famous minor league baseball team in the country. And it just wasn't summer without going to at least one baseball game. Usually, a lot more than one.
Wait, what major league team does it feed to?
Minor league team.
Well, does it feed? It feeds to like.
Oh, it's the Durham Bulls. They feed into the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Anyway, so they're the AAA affiliate for Tampa Bay.
Nice. Yeah.
Anyway, I hated sports as a kid. I, in particular, thought baseball was really boring. Could still go to the stadium and have a great time.
No, yeah.
Because it wasn't really about the sports. It was about the way the sports were presented.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree, yeah.
Marble sports are ridiculous and honestly not inherently any good. But the presentation makes marble sports good. I am having a lot of fun watching it.
Hey.
And I think it works exactly the same. That the commentary, the video editing, the branding that makes it possible for me to get excited about Team Galactic. That's something that I can really get behind, and I love it, and everything that's the best about human sports is what's making marble sports work.
Agreed. You have nailed it. You have nailed it. You didn't sugarcoat it either. We have actually brought this up before, but I think you have worded, believe it or not, with me and Waff sitting here as marble sports connoisseurs, you've worded it better than us. Marble sports is truly boring. It's bad without the production value that JMR has brought, that extra flair that really makes it entertaining. And you're.
I mean, I would argue anything is bad without the right presentation.
Yeah, no, but
it's not like anybody's paying money to go watch Little League baseball either.
I
Right.
I understand. I agree with that as well. I'm just saying, especially in the case of marble sports, it really that being able to. You have to make that whole environment. You have to cause that whole environment around it. The visuals, the story, the backstories of the teams, the catchiness of the names, the visual appeal of each of the logos and the marbles, and to make people, really feel like they want to get behind the O'Rangers and literally sit there and get angry when they underperform. You have to make that environment in marble sports, and you have to do that by making it. By spicing it up, spicing everything up around the actual marbles rolling themselves. And I think that's absolutely the difference between a channel like JMR and just somebody recording a couple marbles racing. So, and the commentary as well is a big deal. But yeah, I think you hit that head on. I played baseball for 8 years, and I really found watching the games not actually the most exciting thing. I loved playing the game. But I will agree, just tangenting back to the baseball story. Watching the games was never the most exciting thing. But when you went to a stadium, though, I just felt like a different feeling. It was more exciting to be at a stadium, to hear the crowd, to kind of watch it with everybody. And I don't know. In any event, that I just thought that was a great point. But if we to look here at the standings, something I noticed at the standings here in Newton's Cradle, we will jump over to long jump probably after the trivia segment, but to look at the standings for Newton's Cradle, I noticed that most of the teams that had captains performing did not perform very well. If you look at the actual results of Newton's Cradle, and just a little bit of trivia for people who didn't know the names. The initial marble that went down and struck Newton's Cradle, the first marble is called Striker Marble, and then the one that bounced off of Newton's Cradle, the secondary marble, is called the Skipper Marble. I think it's called Skipper because it actually does kind of skip instead of just roll when Newton's Cradle strikes it. So just to give a little trivia there. But if you notice, it's really weird. But Mellow Yellow in 16th, 15th, Hornets in 15th, Thunderbolts 14th, Baltic KS 13th. All of those teams had a captain. Green Ducks in 10th, Speeders in 9th, Bumblebees in 8th, and Minty Maniacs in 6th. All the worst performance for the Minty Maniacs as so far. Were all had a captain in their grouping. But from 1st to 5th, no captains involved in that, and 7th neither as well, which is very.
Red Eye isn't the captain.
Green Eye and Yellow Eye performed in the Crazy Cat's Eyes for.
Oh, okay. The graphic just shows like the Red Eye, like the captain marble, so that's why I got confused.
Interesting. But yeah, I just thought it really interesting that the captains underperformed in this type of event. I'm not really sure why. The only thing I can think of is that captains are more, usually you pick a captain because it's a more all-around type of athlete. So it's good at everything, great at nothing kind of thing, or you know what I'm saying? Like doesn't usually an all-around great teammate member. So maybe just picking an all-around player was not best here. Maybe you really wanted to pick your fastest marble and your strongest marble, or your marbles that really excelled at certain skills. I mean, Orangers went with Clementon and Tangerine. Tangerine's a nothing compared to like Canowin, but they got gold. So I will say that choices of marble, not always the captain is not always your best pick. Any thoughts on this, Waff, Craig? Noise from Buck immediately.
I'll let you go first, Craig.
I thought that in terms of seeing some of the teams that had not been on top in previous events really nail this, which is all about the precision. And then, because, like, honestly, if you strike that first ball a little bit off center, and what goes into the other marble is also going to be just less energy overall because it doesn't have that line through the Newton's Cradle right. So this is a very high precision event, and you look at which marbles went back at a weird angle. Those are the ones that did bad. And you look at which ones just sort of bounced back a little bit, but bounced straight back. You're looking at O-Rangers. You're looking at Galactic. That's what makes it successful in this event. And I think that those were some marbles that really nailed their place in Newton's Cradle because they drove the force forward just right.
Yeah, that is put well. A physics analysis of a physics-based event, absolutely. Precision is key, and I feel that captains, as overall good players, but not necessarily excellent in specific categories always, captains are not always the most precise maybe, and maybe you should I think teams should really have focused on, but especially that striker marble, picking their most precise marble. Because you're right, if you take Newton's Cradle, you get any lateral motion on those cradle balls, you're going to lose energy. Lateral motion is not going to be converted into straight motion. It's not. They're different directions. So you don't want any of that. And as soon as you get lateral motion, you're losing energy. Your marble's not going to be hit up as much. You saw that with Mellow Yellow a lot. I mean, they were really wobbly as they rolled up there. And you could really tell when that was happening too. Marbles who were not very precise in their striking. Their striker marble wasn't precise. Wobbled. The secondary marble, the skipper, wobbled up the track. And that motion not very good.
I will also note that in the live chat, I'm seeing some people reacting to our earlier mention of Cosmo as the captain, and he's not who was in it, with some comments about how maybe Stardust ought to take over as captain for Galactic because Stardust is amazing.
Stardust is a true sport, but Stardust is not the caliber of these young Team Galactic competitors.
He's also got a very important job to do, leading the kingdom of Galactica. I don't remember their. I don't know their. I forget their kingdom's name.
You know what though? Greg actually mentioned that, or something about the I don't know, either the Duke and Duchess or the King or something having a lot of work to do. So I don't know. It's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you know what? Maybe that was in the Craven Dome thing. He mentioned that the Duke and Duchess have a lot of other stuff to be doing. I don't know. But I think that with that being said, with the Newton's Cradle being covered, this is the perfect time for you guessed it, the trivia segment. When's the music going to play is the question. I'm going to delay it just to make it annoying for editors, which actually would probably be me. So I'm really just annoying myself right now.
So I might want to think about that one.
I'm going to annoy myself. Ready? So we're going to play the music in 3, 2, 1. Waff. Ha, got you, editor. Ha. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Play the music. All right, well, that was the music. The music just played. We don't play it live, but we play it in the post. So you guys heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, you at home or in the car or whatever.
I'm sure I heard that.
Yeah, you know, I never fail to make the transition to this segment very awkward. Anyways, let's pop ahead here. Just so everybody knows how unprepared I am, if you are in the live chat right now, send me your trivia question, please, so I can ask it. And let's start with Waff. Let's get going with Waff for the first trivia question.
So since we love King Stardust so much, my trivia question is going to be about him.
Yes.
So in long jump, what was the score that King Stardust set in his run of the event?
I think it was like 63 inch centimeter, 63 centimeter.
I do not remember it all. It was a really middling place. I don't know the number.
Well, just give me your best guess.
I'm taking a guess too. I just remembered that the best performances of Marble
over, so I'm going to say 67.
All right, that's fair.
The correct answer is 58.
Oh, 58. Maybe I think 63 was their score in what was it? Their score in Newton's Cradle.
That might have been the case.
Because I know like one of them, I think they got 62, 63 in one of the events. I just knew that it was going to be around there because they did a little bit worse than the Marbles, the competitors who got about 80s in the 80s for long jump. Yeah, that's a good question.
Am I correct in saying
I like Kason in our live chat with the, well, technically I got it, but backwards, having guessed 5 and the answer is 58.
Yep.
That's definitely technically got it, but backwards.
No, yeah. All right.
Am I right in assuming that King Stardust is a ball bearing?
I don't think so. I thought it was just another Team Galactica marble.
I would think so too, but like you just like they seem like they are so much heavier because like, they don't fly as far, or they don't go up as high. On
maybe King Stardust be eating too much there.
Maybe
everybody's saying yes on that one.
Oh, okay.
All right, there.
Definitely a ball bearing.
No, yeah. King Stardust got to cut back on the marble patties there.
Gotta stop eating so much iron.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that's what they eat. That is what marbles eat. Well, there you go. You got it. Anyway, Craig, do you want to continue the trivia segment with your trivia question?
Sure. I'm way too new at this to have any questions that are going to challenge anybody. So let's go with who gets the right answer the fastest rather than who gets it at all. Tell me every team that has ever hosted a Marble League.
Snowballs, Team Galactic.
Snowballs, Galactic, Oceanics, Savage. I think it was just Snowballs,
Was there
Oceanics, and Galactic.
Off's faster. There's only the 3.
What? Was there more
Just-
than 3?
No, just 3.
You both got it right. There's only 3, and Waff got it faster.
Oh, damn it. Waff, dude, what are you doing out there, Waff? Come on. Not giving me a chance out there. Dude, you're like more speedy than the Savage Speeders. No, yeah, I think there was only 3. I do not think hosts were a particular thing in 2016 or 2017. They kind of spiced it up with that in 2018. I think in 2018, really just they were going Winter Olympics, so they were just like, hey, snowballs make sense. By the way, can I say this? This is a little bit of thing I noticed.
Okay.
I know that JMR, I think when JMR made the switch over to Marble League, they said something about them never really wanting to be like the Olympics. But can we just point out that they did make a point out of the 2018 being a Winter Olympics? So like they did. They think they did. They were going for Olympics, and when they realized it could be copyright, then pulled away from it. I just wanted to point that out.
Well, in name they always did, but in terms of execution, like I don't know. I have no idea what they mean by that. Like, because like the aesthetic of it and like the whole idea of it has always been based off the Olympics. So
No, yeah, but they did say something about like
They have a podium that works just like the Olympic podium in terms of displaying who gets gold, silver, and bronze on those levels. And every event is different as opposed to it being like a league tournament in most sports where you're doing the same event over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at Akinon's trivia question. Akinon has submitted one to me. Good little Akinon there. So trivia from Akinon. He says, what is the only retired team who has won an event, qualifiers included? He says he believes this is correct, not 100% sure. So let's see. And of course, the rest of the chat will probably back us up or not. So
I mean, are we counting Minty Maniacs for winning the first 2 events of Marble League after coming out of retirement?
Did they come out of retirement? I don't think they're considered a retired
Minty
team.
Maniacs were officially retired and came out.
yeah, they did.
I
They
don't
came back
think they
to
would
being a
be.
team from not.
Akinon, message me that. Is Mini Maniacs considered in this or no? Because like they did come out of retirement. No, they are not. So probably teams are just
Yeah, as a currently retired team, I don't really know any of those because, like I said, brand new Marble fan.
So what was the question about what teams are
what is the
in
only
retirement?
currently retired team who has won an event? Qualifiers are included. I am pretty damn sure that the Quicksilvers are your team here.
Yeah, Quicksilvers. Yeah, they won some stuff in the first year, and then they stopped coming up, and then
I think it was Quicksilvers.
then they retired.
So you're gonna go with Quicksilvers as well?
Yeah.
The answer is Team Plasma in the 2018 qualifier snow race. Apparently, they were the Team Plasma is in retirement too. We should note that they have not really made their way back up into
That's
the
true.
Marble League. So yeah, I guess that is your.
And I'm too new to this all to have heard of Team Plasma, but it seems like there's some Marble history I need to go learn.
No, yeah, there's actually a Marble League JMR official wiki. Apparently, Team Plasma stopped the entire race in the qualifiers. I vaguely remember something like that. Stopped everyone behind them. I vaguely remember that. Was that the race where all the marbles stopped right on the track, but because Team Plasma were the farthest along, they got first place? That's hilarious. Yeah.
Oh man, I
remember
need to see this. Please, when we're done recording, send me a link to that video because I have to watch it.
No, yeah, we will definitely take a look at that. That is indeed. Oh, you know what? I wish I should have had a screen capture option as a scene in this stream, because then I could have actually pulled it up and showed you guys what he's talking about on the YouTube here. But I do not. I don't think so. Yeah.
I guess for the previous question, Bakshima did bring up that technically speaking, like 2016 and 2017 were hosted in the country of Team Primary, but so they technically hosted it. But
when
like
was
I don't
that
know.
ever stated? When was that stated?
Apparently, it must have been stated like in a a retrospective or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe or maybe Greg said it in a commentary at one point. I mean, it's been so long since we've watched those 2 years. It's in a retrospective. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, lots of.
My understanding is there wasn't this whole like we're designing a themed venue that's going on now at that time, and
No, but there wasn't. The retrospectives didn't come out until I think like last year. So it's retroactively making them the country those in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so that's another answer on the trivia that is an additional viable correct answer.
Yeah,
Technically.
maybe. Yeah, I'd have to confirm that as well. I'm not 100% sure about that either, but yeah, I think that's going to pull to the end our trivia segment. I hope you enjoyed that. This is a great time to also plug all the other random stuff. You can join the Discord. You can join the... What else do we have? We have a Twitter. You can follow that at _MSW podcast. You can bother me about with Marvel stuff. And also don't forget to send us stuff. You can email us at mswpodcast@gmail.com, where you can send us a bunch of different stuff. Maybe you want us to cover certain things on the podcast that we don't know about. Maybe you have some thoughts about stuff that you want us to read in coming shows. We will always read thoughts that you have if you email them to us. But yeah, that's enough of that plugging stuff. Do the thing where you put the trivia music in here, inserting it into the audio, so we can go back to the main episode. Can we do that? Is it playing?
Mm-hmm.
Is it playing? Is the music playing? Am I talking?
I don't know, Brennan. You'll probably be updating this one, so
the question
you'll.
is right now: am I talking after the music is played, or am I talking before the music is played?
You'll know the answer when you get to
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna go with before. I think the music has not started yet. I think they're being patient in the editing studio, and it's gonna play right now. Boom, it's done. All right.
Okay.
All right.
We're here. We're back. Are we back? Are we here?
Yes.
And you gave me the timestamps already for the trivia. Good job, Wolf. Anyway, guys, we're back from the trivia. We are going to end out today's podcast, of which we have about 15, 20 minutes. 20 minutes tops. To talk about long jump. I want to talk about long jump. You guys might know why I want to talk about long jump. I certainly know why I want to talk about long jump. Waff might know why I want to talk about long jump. That is because my primary... And let me remind you here. MSW had 2 picks for this year's prediction to win the Marble League 2020. We had a primary pick. We had a secondary pick. Our primary pick was Mellow Yellow. Our secondary pick was Crazy Cat's Eyes. And to remind you of the rules, I have until after Event 6... Can't do it. When Event 7 starts, the picks are locked in. But I have until Event 7 begins to make a switch. I can switch my primary and my secondary. All right? Just to make, it's kind of just technicality. I can put whatever team I pick from. I put Crazy Cat's Eyes as the primary, so it seems like that, they were my initial pick. I can rewrite history, but only until Event 7 starts. Once Event 7 starts, I am locked in. I am to be stuck with whatever I've got. And I'm going to tell you what. Crazy Cat's Eyes, Mellow Yellow, both came out there in long jump. Both.
They sure did.
Crushed it.
They really did.
They crushed it. We had Mellow Yellow, first ones to go, unknown as to what, and you heard Greg would say that because the long jump was reworked this time, there was actually no record to even look towards. You just had to go out there and do your best.
They reset the record because it's all structured differently.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
You took the words right out of Greg's mouth, to be honest there. I think that was almost word for word. But
it probably was, yeah.
But yeah, Mellow Yellow just went out there, boom in 82. I was like, that's decent. And Marbles fell short, except for 2 teams, Crazy Cat's Eyes, and I believe, help me here, who was the other team that beat them?
Be who?
Who got silver? I forgot.
Balls of Chaos.
Balls of Chaos. Yeah, Balls of Chaos and Crazy Cat's Eyes were the only ones to jump further. So, I'm happy. I am happy. And I have to tell you what, if Mellow Yellow, I'll say this right now, if Mellow Yellow pulls off a silver or gold in Event 6, I will not switch my primary and my secondary pick. I will keep Mellow Yellow as my primary pick for victory. I will leave Crazy Cat's Eyes as secondary, and we will give them all of our faith. If Mellow Yellow underperforms in Event 6, then I'm going to probably switch and go with Crazy Cat's Eyes as the primary pick for the victory. Waff, as the other MSW host here. How do you feel about that? decision.
I'm fine with that. I'll have my picks. I pick Momo as my primary always and forever, no matter what. And then I'm honestly, I was gonna choose Crazy Cat's Eyes, but like I'm really loving Minty Maniacs this year. Not gonna lie.
I'm impressed by Minty Maniacs for a team that had been retired, so you assume they're going to be a little bit rusty on all of this.
And they're a Hubelino
coming
team.
back and they're nailing it.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's a shame.
A shame.
I am not a Hubelino fan. I do not like the Hubelino teams. I do not like them doing well, performing better than veteran Marble League teams. It gets me.
You're gonna have to put up with it because it's happening. It's real.
Maybe not though. Maybe not. They did not perform well in Newton's Cradle. They get 6. It's all right.
Yeah, but
they did not perform well.
We're still 5 events in. They're still a great team. They're still leading.
Great teams are consistent. We will
They
see.
were
been consistent this season.
You can't call them consistent after 3 events.
Those were the only 2 they haven't gotten on the podium for. So I don't know. They're impressive.
Inconsistent.
I think I hope that you guys are overstating their abilities.
They're not. It's consistency. Look at it.
It's not
Look at them.
You can't call it consistency.
But it's not consistency. They had a bunch of strong.
It's for 5 events.
Then they had to.
Long jump is event 5. We are 5 events in, and they have gone. They've been at the top of the leaderboard for 4 of them.
Momo, if you tying with Momo, you're not doing good. Sorry.
For 1 event.
Yeah, I know, and they also listen. I think that if we want to call the Mini Maniacs a consistent contender, we have to see them do well in these coming 2 to 3 events. I have to see it. I will not say they're a consistent good team until I see it. Until I see the evidence.
I think what do they do after this is very important because they started out very strong and then they've gotten very medium.
Savage beaters last year. No, yeah, and like Mini Maniacs, they come out there, they get their 2 golds and a bronze, but O'Rangers is like that. We're gonna come out and do 2 golds and a silver. Like we have other teams who are just as good, if not better. O'Rangers.
Technically, O'Rangers has slipped back into second in the standings, but like,
yeah, it's true.
Are they really doing less well this year?
No, it's only a 3-point difference.
Yeah,
and if I'm looking at the medal situation, I'm favoring O'Rangers here.
As much as somebody who has to be grumpy about that tiny margin by which they beat Galactic back on the Newton's Cradle,
that was rough.
Which I will say that was such an exciting event because Newton's Cradle defined it early on, and then nobody was touching them, and then suddenly all those late teams coming real close. That was some high drama right there. But anyway, O'Rangers is the only people who actually topped Galactic. I was impressed, and are we not going to say that them with their medal count are clearly the dominant team looking at how this Marble League is going, even though officially they're second in the standings?
Yeah, 2 golds and a silver beats 2 golds and a bronze any day. Any day of the week. Any day of the weekend as well. All right?
So my prediction is that somehow somebody comes out ahead of the O'Rangers for first place, but O'Rangers come out ahead of Minty Maniacs in the final standings.
Absolutely. You couldn't have said it better, Craig. That is exactly what's going to happen. I don't even have to predict. I guarantee you right now, all of you, that O'Rangers will place above Mini Maniacs. Crazy Cat's Eyes will place above Mini Maniacs. You'll be lucky to see Mini Maniacs on the podium in the top 5. You're probably going to see them in the top 8. Maybe even the top 12. That's my thoughts on Mini Maniacs. Mr. Waff thinks otherwise. But I gotta be honest with you guys. Mini Maniacs fluke. This is a fluke. This is a fluke.
Hey, can you get a fluke 3 times in a row? I don't think that's how that works, boy.
It's a 3-event fluke, and you are not going to see this type of performance in the rest of the Marble League. You will not.
What are you talking about?
You will not.
You're insane.
I am
You're
not.
insane.
No, you're not seeing it.
You're delusional and you're denying the facts.
I'm not denying the facts. I'm seeing this is what I'm seeing through my vision, through my life perspective. I'm seeing a 3-event fluke. Then we got a 6th place in event 4. We got an 8th place, barely an 8th, tied with Momo in event 5, and I think in event 6, 7, and 8 in those singular events. I mean, think about it. We got hurdles coming up. You think the Mini Maniacs are gonna get 1st place in hurdles? You're out of your mind.
No. Let me bring up their stupid record. Let's see. Have they done hurdles before? Let's find out.
They might have even played hurdles before. You're gonna think a team never played. It's not even words, but you know what I'm saying. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I reserve judgment. I think the Rangers are going to top Minty Maniacs, but I think Minty Maniacs could be still pretty solid. I just don't know. We'll see it when we see how they perform in the next couple of events.
Oh yeah, we will have to see. Man, I mean, listen. I think that the Mini Maniacs gave a valiant play, but I think that it's not going to happen overall. I just can't see it. I just can't see it. I mean, in my opinion, it's a 3-event fluke, and wait, let me.
Quite a broad idea what a fluke is.
We have 5-meter hurdles coming up next. Mini Maniacs and 5-meter hurdles. That is a disaster. Come on. Mini Maniacs and 5-meter hurdles. Come on.
I feel like 5-meter hurdles is a maybe event for Galactic and definitely a strong event for Rangers and Savage Speeders.
Oh, absolutely. You got that right. Rangers, Savage Speeders, very strong in the 5-meter hurdles. Green Ducks will be strong in the 5-meter hurdles. Hazers. Crazy Cat's Eyes, I think, are going to be medium there.
I mean, this is a how do you jump event.
Yeah. I mean,
Green Ducks, if Jungle Jumpers had qualified, this would have been their one medal.
Maybe. They actually did not impress in jumping overall. Jungle Jumpers have been a lackluster team, actually, for most. Yeah. They played 2 years, I think.
Like I say, if they'd qualified, they would get only one medal. This would be it, but there wouldn't be another.
No, yeah.
The Mini Maniacs have not done hurdles before, so there's literally no way to know how good they'll do.
But that should be a red flag, a literal red flag, or a minty green flag right there. All right, with black stripes, man. They have never done hurdles before. You're going to tell you right now, Mr. Waff, are going to sit there in your chair in Texas, whatever, USA, I don't know, and tell me that the Mini Maniacs, who have never competed in the hurdles event before, are going to come out there and are going to annihilate a Rangers, Savage Speeders, Crazy Cat's Eyes, Mellow Yellow, Team
I
Galactic,
say they would.
Hazers,
I said that there's
Ducks,
no way. I never said that they would. I said that there's no way to
Green
know.
Ducks.
Unlike you, I'm not claiming that this is factual. Like, this is how it is. Like, no, but they are doing good. They are proven to be a good team, and we should never. And that they are a force to be reckoned with, and that you should not count them out.
All right. We will see. We will wait and we will see. I think 5-meter hurdles will be a disaster for the Mini Maniacs. I think block pushing is going to be a disaster for the Mini Maniacs. I think relay run is a short disaster for the Mini Maniacs. Those are your next 2 events, and I think we are going to see the beginning of the unfolding of a 3-event fluke situation. Absolutely. And that is my take on the current state of the Mini Maniacs. Waff is not liking this. Craig is trying to mediate this argument, but I'm telling you that this is a fluke by 3 events, and the Mini Maniacs are just going to go downhill. They're going to roll downhill. Yes, pun, Waff, don't say anything. They're going to roll right downhill, right out of the Marble League over these next 3 events, and that's my take on that. And if they don't, then I'll be upset, but if they do, I will be right.
So while we're on the subject of upcoming Marble things, outside of Marble League, my Twitter got me aware of Marble League Baseball, and I haven't seen a single event out of them, but I'm really curious to see how they make baseball happen with marbles.
I've watched it.
Is it good? I have not yet.
I've seen they do it on an inning by inning basis. Well, first off, there's another channel that's done something similar. Wow, something similar, but it was basically the marbles. They ran around track. They ran the whole diamond, and then they would have a motor swung a little bat thing to hit the ball, and that was kind of unengaging me. But the one that the Twitter is referring to is Marble League Baseball, is more well thought out, but it still has a lot of issues. Like it's really unclear. Like basically, each of the marbles have stats that determines like how far they can throw the ball, quote unquote. So there's a lot of hidden stuff that makes it very hard to understand. Like literally today they released a better, deeper explanation video of how it works. So moving forward, I guess it'll determine how much I enjoy it. I think it's okay, but ultimately, like, it's not really what I think that there's improvements that can be made to the whole concept. It's definitely rough around the edges. I appreciate this channel like in trying to innovate the whole thing, like and coming up with something new. Like that's people don't do that enough. Most people are settled for mediocrity, but channels like MSPN and then like this Marble League Baseball strive to try and make things that people have never seen before. And so it's going to be rough at the beginning because no one's ever done it. So, but I'm hoping that like as the years go by, or like and more tournaments happen, like they can make it look better, come with better finalize the rules more, and like create a very unique experience that we can all enjoy.
I haven't watched it at all. I think the concept is a really solid one, and I'm very curious when I get a chance to watch some to see how they do with it as a new Marble channel. I'm really interested in their idea.
I agree. I think that it could be a really cool event, but it has to be executed well. I could think of some ways to execute it, but I think that the overall execution of baseball with marbles, where marbles cannot think and move for themselves, and it can only react to gravity, making baseball is going to be very hard, and every motion, every action that the marbles can do has to be well thought out, has to be considered carefully. If this is going to work at all, this is not going to be an easy thing to do. It's not even going to be a medium thing to do. It's going to be very, very difficult to pull off something like this where I'm going to be able to sit there and watch it, enjoy it, and not just enjoy it and follow it and be able to understand what's going on in the field and why it's all working together and how it's all working together. With that being said, though, guys, we are reaching that hour mark that we try to stay under. Or I could sit here for the next 4 hours and talk about marbles, but I mean, podcasts have to have a lot.
I mean, you do 4 hours of that every month, don't you?
In essence, yes. But I guess looking forward to the next event. Again, guys, I think that in these 5-meter hurdles, you need to be looking out for Savage Speeders. You need to be looking out for Mellow Yellow. You need to be looking out for Crazy Cat's Eyes. You need to be looking out for Green Ducks. You need to be looking out for Hazers. I think Green Galactic. I think Team Galactic has a chance.
You might as well are you just like listing all the teams? That's what it sounds like.
Those are the teams.
Keep it out for every team.
Grouping of teams. 16 teams. I listed about 6 or 7.
But I'm really hoping Team Galactic is going to be where this is going to really show their stuff here.
Yeah, I think that is a possibility. I think those are the teams that I just listed. I think it was about 7 or 6. You need to look out for those teams. I think those are the teams that are going to be contenders in the 5-meter hurdles. I think it's ridiculous to think that a Hubalino team that has never competed in hurdles before is going to do well in hurdles. I don't want to hear it. I will have to see it to believe it. But I think that is how you should look forward to the next event. So with that being said, guys, that's going to wrap up the podcast for today. Waf, if you have any last words, say them. And also, Craig, thank you for coming on. It was very exciting to have you on. And
it's fun to be on, getting to geek out about a sport I am brand new to knowing anything about. But, discovering those and loving them is the whole point of my podcast. So I'm glad to be here.
I could not be more excited to have you join us. Like I was saying, you as a new fan gave very good insight into what you thought about Marble Sports, getting into it, and also the performances in the recent couple of events. Before Waf does his usual closing statement, which can now become a thing that we just do at this point, because I don't know how to end a podcast, I will remind you guys, remember, join the Discord. Join the Discord, man. We got a bunch of people in the live chat tonight. It continues to grow every week. I cannot believe that 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people in the live chat here listening to us, and then we got 4 over on the YowTub. I mean, like, guys, I'm really happy that you guys are enjoying this podcast and take time to come out and listen to us. And I hope that we continue to build this community. So join the Discord to be a part of the live episodes and talk with your favorite Marvel fans and all that kind of stuff. And don't forget to see me on Twitter too. That's @_MSW podcast, as I'll continue to complain about Mellow Yellow and Minty Maniac's performance. But with that being said, that's going to be the end of the show.
And follow me on Twitter as well at PTFPod.
Oh yeah, do that too. Definitely follow him and listen to his show. He runs an amazing show.
Yeah.
So off, do the thing.
All right. Once again, thank you for an incredible year. Roll on, Marvel sports fans.